Hello, this is a video to clarify the Block 9, assignment number 2, graphing polynomials homework a little bit more in detail. So the first column on the left is an example of how to do this, but I would like to do a couple of these just to make sure that you're on the right track. So in this particular homework assignment, some of it is already done for you. Some of it is not done for you. So I'm going to look on page 2 right here. And if you look at page 2, I'm going to go ahead and concentrate on column number 1. Okay, so column number 1 right here, it is already graphed for you. It's already graphed for you. But the thing is that it doesn't have the polynomial in standard form, factored form. It doesn't have the x-intercepts or the roots, and it doesn't have the end behaviors. Now, since it's already graphed for you, I would do the end behaviors first. If I start in the center and I go left, it's negative, and down, it's negative, then I know that this end behavior is negative, negative. Let me actually put this in Cami because I completely forgot about thinking about doing that. All right, here we go. So again, this is negative, negative, and this is positive, negative. So you see the one on the left is just telling you the left arm. Is it going up or down? It is going down. And x is approaching negative infinity. Y is approaching negative infinity. The one on the right, is it going up or down? It's going down. As x is approaching infinity, y is approaching negative infinity. Now, the multiplicities or just means how many. Is it a double root? Is it a single root? Is it a triple root? That type of thing. And so let's take a look at our zeros or our x-intercepts or roots. Where does it cross the x-axis? It crosses right here. Oops, I thought that saved. It did not. It crosses right here at -1, -2, -3. So x equals -3. And do you notice how it goes up and it touches that dot, but it doesn't go through that dot? This is what we call a double root. So x is -3, and it's a multiplicity of 2 because that means it's a double root. I also have it crossing the x-axis at 0. And notice it goes through that blue dot, so it's a multiplicity of 1. Just means it's a single root. You don't technically have to say multiplicity of 1. It's just another way of saying that I have one answer. And I also have a dot. It's crossing the x-axis at 1. And again, it's going through the red dot, so it's a multiplicity of 1. So now, what would this look like in factored form? So if I'm going backwards, remember x equals -3. So if x equals -3, then in parentheses, it's x plus 3. And because it's a double root, it's a power of 2. X equals 0, so you have x. Okay. And x equals 1, so our factor is x minus 1. And again, I only have one of them. Now, you always want to make sure that you put either y equals or f of x equals so that you know that this is a function or an equation. And then I want to write this in standard form. So standard form means I just multiply this together again. Okay. So if I were to multiply this together again, I want to go ahead and multiply that x plus 3 quantity squared. So x plus 3 quantity squared, if I were to write that 2 times, and I use the box method or FOIL, I would get x squared plus 6x plus 9. So I have x squared plus 6x plus 9. And then I am going to multiply these two together. And if I were to distribute the x, I get x squared minus x. And then if I would want to multiply the x squared plus 6x plus 9, which is a trinomial, with that binomial, x squared minus x, that's like drawing a 3 by 2 box. So I'm going to have x squared plus 6x plus 9 going down. And then I'm going to go ahead and have my x squared minus x going across. And when I multiply that, I get x to the 4th minus x cubed, 6x to the 3rd minus 6x squared plus 9x squared plus minus 9x. And then when I combine like terms, I get x to the 4th. My x cubes combine to 5x cubed. My x squares will combine to 3x squared. And then I'm left with negative 9x. And again, always make sure that you have f of x or y equals. So this would be the polynomial in standard form. In factored form, I have my roots or my x-intercepts, I have my end behaviors, and I have my graph. I'm going to go ahead and do one more just to make sure that we're on the right track here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a look at one of these right here. So I'm going to take a look at, let's see. So let's look at this third page, the second column. So the third page, the second column, it doesn't have the polynomial in standard form. It doesn't have it in factored form. It has the x-intercepts or the roots, and then it has a little bit about the end behaviors here, okay? But it's not complete. So I'm going to go ahead and start with what I'm given, which is our roots or end behaviors. So x equals 1, which means going backwards, it's x minus 1. And a multiplicity of 1 just means you have one of those. You don't have two. So this is the first one right here. X equals 2, so working backwards, it's x minus 2. And again, I only have one of those. And x equals 3, just working backwards, it's x minus 3. So it's y equals the quantity of x minus 1 times x minus 2 times x minus 3. If I were to go ahead and sketch that, I'm going to go ahead and put a dot at 1, a dot at 2, and a dot at x equals 3. Because this is a degree of 3 and it starts with a positive, I know that my right arm is going up and my left arm is going down. So I'm going to find my very right dot and I'm going to make it go up, and my very left dot, I'm going to make it go down. And when I connect them, I don't have any double roots. So I'm going to go straight through the purple dots, straight through the pink dots, and straight through the blue dots. Now, if I take a look at my end behaviors, it says that my left arrow is supposed to go up. And if I look at mine, my left arrow doesn't go up. And it says my right arrow is supposed to go down, and mine is going up. So I made the mistake of not paying attention to my end behaviors right here. Remember, they're my clues that kind of give me an idea which way this is going. It says that my right arm is supposed to go down and my left arm is supposed to go up. Anytime my right arm goes down, what does that mean? That means that my equation must be starting with a negative. And because it starts with a negative, that's why my right arm goes down and my left arm goes up. So now I can reconnect them by drawing an arrow, going through the purple dot, through the pink dot, and through the blue dots. So my left one is going up. It says x is going to negative infinity, y is going to positive infinity, right? And my right one, x is going to positive infinity, y is going to negative infinity. Now, just so you know that it's a little bit subjective because the left one, you might be saying it might be positive infinity. So if you wrote that as x is approaching positive infinity, I would say it's technically correct. Again, it's a little subjective because it's so close to the y-axis. Now that you have that in factored form, how would you write that in standard form? Again, you would have to multiply all of this together. So if I were to use the box method just on these two, or FOIL, whatever works, I'd get x squared minus 3x plus 2. And then if I multiply that by x minus 3, I have a 3 by 2 box, or 6 boxes, so I get x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x minus 3x squared plus 9x minus 6. And when I combine like terms, I get y equals x cubed. Be careful with your x squares. They almost look like they cancel, but it's minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6. Okay. And if I were being a little bit more accurate, notice that my y-intercept is negative 6. So again, if I was being a little bit more accurate, which I should be, okay, it would cross the x-axis at negative 6. And so if I kind of made this a little bit more accurate, right one goes down and left one goes up. So there's a little bit of a mistake here. And this can't be. You can't have a y-intercept at negative 6. Let me take a look at the answer key. Because I do make mistakes. All right, I knew I made a mistake on this problem. I told you that it started with a negative, and silly me, what did I forget to write? I put it right here on the factored form, but I forgot to put it in the standard form. So since it starts with a negative, negative means to switch all the signs. So it would be y equals negative x cubed plus 6x squared minus 11x plus 6. And now it will work because our y-intercept is going to be positive instead of negative. And so left arm would be up, right arm would be down. Okay, I hope this video was helpful in completing this assignment. Have a great day.